The present world is a practical one that demands the best out of an individual. Although all the efforts one puts towards accomplishing a goal is comparable to a single drop in the ocean of progress, each act of effort matters. This is because little efforts make a huge change. We often ignore the outcome of the efforts we put in and get demotivated when we don't see immediate results. In companies, for example, not being able to do enough sales and produce enough revenue becomes a reason for their demotivation, which negatively impacts both the employees of the company and the company itself. Well, we need to know that these little steps are like bricks in a wall. Each one matters and completes the wall of progress. In wanting immediate outcomes, we sadly overlook necessary milestones before lands could be converted into oceans and the wall of progress could be completed. And so, we end up demanding too much of ourselves as well. We expect ourselves to do everything all at once and seek immediate results. That too according to our expectations. At least that is what the ideal person would do. Now, before we go further, let's take a step back. Let's ask ourselves this laughably apparent question. Can we really be ideal? Perhaps not. Understanding that you have flaws and shortcomings is essential before we move on to the famous Japanese term, Kaizen. Kaizen is a term entailing a particular East Asian philosophy of gradual but certain improvement. It's a concept which presents the road to progress as a gradual one. Each single step is an improvement, bringing the entirety of our being slightly closer to where we want to be. One step at a time. Think about it like this. Can a company that just started a few weeks back progress in the blink of an eye? Definitely not. Okay, let's suppose the company does start to make a good revenue. Is it something to be taken for granted? Should the company stop making changes to further improve the sales just because they are making enough to earn their living? Certainly not. Kaizen, meaning change for better, promotes the idea of constantly making efforts to progress further. However, there are steps we have to take in order to apply Kaizen in our work, home, or other domains of life. Once we get to know the steps, we are almost halfway there. But being halfway there is a scary concept. We are not there yet. But we have spent an awful lot of time getting to where we are right now. We have gone through all the necessary steps. Our circumstances have changed. Maybe they are the way we expected them to be, maybe not. But still, there are miles of pavement ahead. Slowly, our steps slow down as doubt begins to spread. Perhaps it was all for nothing. Perhaps all the money invested in the company was in vain. Perhaps the idea of starting a company and earning a living through it was not a good idea. Wrong. We tend to dismiss the reality of our situation. The reality is that we are no longer thinking about starting a company. We already did that. From the selection of the name of business to the planning of business strategy, we have experienced successes and failures. We forget that experience is invaluable. We tend to overlook the fact that we have come this far already, and that is right at the center of Kaizen, one's deliberate growth. All our facets are growing as the months of life pass by. We are not the person we were last year, and the status of the company we started is not the same as it was before. We have gone through a lot, whether or not we were productive. However, Kaizen does not just address our growth as a company. There is a certain conscious and uplifting element to it, almost as if Kaizen is a plan, rather than just an observation. And that is the essence of the term. Kaizen is a plan that is followed by a number of well-recognized companies around the globe, including Toyota, Ford Motor Company, Nestle, and many others belonging to varying sectors. Without a doubt, all those companies have succeeded in accomplishing their goals and earning a repute for their company. However, this isn't a single-step journey. If we engage with the traditional concept of Kaizen, we come up with 5 basic elements found in it. Teamwork, personal discipline, morale, quality of the work, suggestions on how to improve. This concept incorporates many elements which could cause good change. It's a known fact that good teamwork and work ethic, along with your personal motivation, all together can make improvement easier to come by and help flourish your business. Teamwork. You are not alone on the path to success. There are many travelers treading this road with you. Not coordinating with them could actually just handicap you. However, your personal conduct matters almost as much. Your behaviour with the employees of your company, coordination with them, and empathy can help promote teamwork and do wonders, especially in determining the future of your company. Personal discipline. Planning out what and how you need to go about achieving gives your progress a sense of structure. Suddenly, the road is not just an endless pile of hardened tar. You can plan the steps you can take, the times of the day you walk. That's going to help a lot. Morale. Remember that you're here because you had a motivation, or if you didn't have it earlier, you do now. Understand that you cannot achieve everything at once, and that's fine, but your dream is attainable. Accept that you have covered ground. Quality. Slouching is probably going to just hurt your back. Plan things out and work in a way where you don't compromise your progress on the road in front. Suggestions for improvement. You have learned a lot up till now. Share what things you think the people around you could improve, and ask them where you could improve as well. Just sharing intel like this lets you know the lessons you and others have learned. However, this is not the only way to look at the concept of Kaizen. Earlier, we talked about how Kaizen is a plan. Kaizen in itself can be approached through multiple ways. Let's take a look at them. Point Kaizen. Point Kaizen focuses on situations where a solution needs to be quickly reached. So in a sense, this Kaizen gets implemented when you have to make a decision right at a particular point in time. Hence, Point Kaizen. System Kaizen. While the point of Point Kaizen, please forgive the pun, was to take a step which could change things for the better at one point in time, System Kaizen is about arranging all the variables in an organized manner so that they could bring about change through the organization itself. Thus, we can see how Kaizen can be different for your particular situation. Nevertheless, the goal of all categories of Kaizen is to bring about productive change with the least amount of loss. The point to remember here is that all of this has to be realistic. Success is not ensured. No one is entitled to success. But if you really think about it, success is not a solitary object. Life is a process, and success is simply the outcome which you think is the best one for you. Perhaps it could mean a good career, raising your children right, or it could be finishing the tasks assigned to you. However, there is one thing that is certain. We cannot succeed by stopping dead in our tracks. So, let's walk.